Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Colangelo, for giving me the opportunity to join you today. Sorry I'm not there in person, but some other things have come up, but I did not want to miss the opportunity to answer some questions that the community has shared with me and our team. So if I just indulge me for a few minutes, I'll take some of the commonly asked questions we've received, and I'll give you the best answers that I can right now. The first question: was the Hanover High boys hockey team the best team in the state? The answer to that is absolutely yes. We are so proud of our boys for their state championship, and we know the amazing things they did this season. So we need to start off with some really good news, and we're very proud of them for making our community so proud, and we're very grateful. So Coach Abin, his whole team, and all the kids, thank you very much for an incredible season and for bringing so much joy to our community, and we're very proud of you, and congratulations. So that was the easy question. The other question is a little more challenging. One of the questions we were asked: will school be out longer than the governor's mandated 3 weeks? We do not know right now. Obviously, we're still all in the same boat. We're still learning how this is going to play out. Hopefully, in the weeks ahead, we will know more. Always trying to stay optimistic, but I think right now, given the state of affairs in our country and locally, if we are back in 3 weeks, that will be a tremendously positive outcome. So I think we need to hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Another question is: you're considering canceling the rest of this school year? It's far too early for us to make a determination like that. I know it's been done in other parts of the country, but right now we will continue to take our direction from state and local officials, particularly those at the state level controlling public health and the governor's office. So in the meantime, we will remain hopeful and see where it goes. So assuming the governor's mandatory closure is not extended and we're able to open on April 7th, which would be a great thing to do, will we have April vacation and we still have summer break? I feel very confident saying there will still be summer break. That has been directed by the Department of Education, and the governor have said that we're not going to be in school later than June 30th, as well as their contractual obligations that would prevent that as well. So summer break, I would say, is intact. April vacation is up in the air, but if we were back before April vacation, I think that would be a very good problem to have, and we could adjust and determine that at that time, and we would also probably be in the same boat as every other city and town in Massachusetts when making those decisions. Questions we're getting a lot of: why isn't some of the schoolwork mandatory? Why aren't things graded? Why aren't we moving forward with virtual online classes? I think right now our teachers are doing the very best they can. They're working very hard to provide enrichment and activities and work for our students to maintain where we are. So they reinforce the skills they've already learned, the concept they've already learned, the experiences that they've already had. The state has told us quite clearly, without any ambiguity, that we are not to be grading students right now, and they were not to be moving forward with new content. And a lot of that has to do with, or mostly has to do with, the fact that all of our students don't learn the same way. And we want to make sure there's equal access for all of our students when they do their schoolwork, when they learn new material. And right now, without the ability to have our teachers working with our students, all students, that equal access, if we were to move forward, would not be available. Plus, not every student and every family has the technology or the capacity to support their students, particularly our younger students, who need mom and dad to do a lot of their work with them and help them with it. And with working families, especially members of our community right now that have to be at work, that are out protecting us, serving us in hospitals, working in our supermarkets, delivering our mail, our Amazon packages. Right now, to be moving forward with new curriculum would not provide equal access. That being said, we do believe our teachers will be communicating with you regularly. We'll be communicating with our kids to show support, to be offering good activities, learning opportunities for them. And although we all would love to be moving forward, and we will probably get to a point, if this extension goes beyond the 3 weeks, or if it extends longer than that, then we're going to have to readjust our strategies. For now, we have to take our direction from the state and all the school districts in Massachusetts are in the same boat, and we're trying to do our best to maintain and reinforce without getting too far ahead. So more to follow on that. We continue to work on that on a daily basis, and we promise to keep families and students posted as we go forward. What about the MCAS? What about AP exams? What about SAT exams? I guess when we're in situations like this, it kind of makes you think about the importance of some of this stuff. MCAS will be determined by the State Board of Education. They will give us some direction whether or not that will be postponed or canceled for the year. The advanced placement tests, SAT tests, those are controlled by the College Board. Although if we are not able to get back into school, or we are still in a situation where people can't congregate, the College Board is going to have to give us some direction on that. So at the moment, nothing has been canceled outright, but the reality is there will probably be some postponement, and especially with some of our AP exams, students would need time to be able to catch up on the curriculum and be able to be ready to go with those skills and the things that they need to learn to be able to take the test successfully. So more to follow on that. We'll stay in touch with the College Board. Teachers available to be contacted by students or parents. Yes, if you need to reach out to your child's teacher, or you're a student and you want to reach out to your teacher, please email them. That's the best form of communication at this point. Teachers certainly will do their very best to communicate with their families and students and be as responsive as possible. I think people need to understand as this moves forward, people may not be available if they're dealing with illness or caring for sick relatives. You may email somebody and they are unable to get back to you. I think we just need to be realistic that might be the case as we go forward in the weeks ahead. So just please be mindful of that. But otherwise, feel free to reach out to your teachers. I'm sure they'd be glad to hear from you. And please don't be afraid to send them a compliment, because like you, they're feeling a little out of touch as well. And they miss their students and they miss school. So they certainly would love to hear from you. What about sports? What about the prom? What about special events? And I think most of this affects our high school students. At the moment, the Mass Interscholastic Athletic Association, the MIAA, has pushed sports off to a start date of no earlier than April 27th. I think that is, if sports are starting April 27th, that's going to be a good outcome. So let's be optimistic, say hope for the best. Proms, graduation, senior banquet, those things that are most important to our high school students, particularly our seniors. We're thinking of you guys. We are hoping that we'll get back to some sense of normalcy, and whether it's the stuff that's already planned or something that we need to modify, we want you to have those experiences. And it's very concerning and heartbreaking if these things are unable to run. But again, please be hopeful, and if we need to make adjustments, we will try to be as creative and innovative as possible so you don't lose out on those special lifetime memories. But understanding we are in a very challenging and uncharted territory here. But we are thinking of you, and we'll do our best to make those things happen. As far as field trips and other trips, almost everything is probably canceled or postponed at this point, and your principals will keep you posted for anything that has not been determined to date. If students do not go back to school, how will grades be calculated? This is a great question. Report cards for the second trimester for elementary school and middle school will be going out soon. Progress reports for our students who are on individual education plans. The high school is up in the air because they are on a quarter schedule. If we are able to get back into school, we may consider just blending the third and the fourth quarter. So those are things that we will consider depending upon when and if we get back in. We'll make those determinations then. We'll keep you posted on that. If we are out for a prolonged period of time, how are we going to make sure kids get caught up? How are we going to adjust next year's curriculum? I think the questions to that are still to be determined. But if we are missing a great deal of school at the end of this year, we are going to have to adjust next year to make sure kids can get caught up. We are going to have to adjust our summer extended school year programs for students with special education needs. So all that is going to be evaluated in the weeks and months ahead. When we know more, we'll be able to determine how we adjust both for the summer and for the fall when we get back. But hopefully we will get back to school in time that we don't have to make some major adjustments moving forward. So I think a lot of this, there are more questions than answers, and I have others from parents. I've tried to summarize and consolidate some of these questions. Please be patient with us. Please be patient with your teachers. Be patient with each other. Please continue to do the things you need to do to keep yourselves and others safe. And I promise that we will do our very best to stay in communication. We will do our very best to lead, and we'll do our best to keep people safe and make decisions where safety is our priority. However, we do know you need to learn. We know you need enrichment. We know you need to be engaged, and we'll do everything we can to make that possible. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Colangelo, for giving me the time to share this message, and best wishes to all of you as we get through this together. Thank you.